Hey everybody, the Monday edition of the JMSports Show is on the air. How's it going? Jonathan was out here for JMSports 100 and JMSports Show. Excuse my voice if it sounds a little bit rough. I've got a little bit of a cold that I'm battling right now. First cold of the season. Woohoo! Alrighty, I feel bad because none of you guys saw my NFL picks or my college football picks. I posted them on Saturday. If you guys saw, nobody saw my NFL picks. If you saw the college picks, you may have seen them. On the Facebook page, I posted them there. Of course, you guys didn't see the NFL picks. They're up, so check them out. But we had the best week that I've ever had. I've been picking for like different ESP. I've been picking publicly for about this is, I believe, my third year picking publicly, second or third year picking publicly, and then also I've been picking just myself, just for like different games and stuff around my town and for ESPN and stuff for about 5 years. And this week I had the best week I've ever had. We were 1-0 going into Sunday. Going into the Giants-Eagles game, we were 13-0. We went 13-2 this week. Had some struggles with the Cowboys. Had some struggles with the Eagles and Giants, which I'll talk about that. It's going to be a lot of NFL for the next couple of days. Just a couple of things to mention. The Nationals clinched the National League East today. That's their first division title since moving to Washington. Also, Oakland clinched a playoff spot. I'll make sure I get this right. Yep, the Athletics clinched a playoff berth, first time since 2006 that has happened. And also, the Tigers win the AL Central for the second straight season, first time since 1934 and 1935 that they made back-to-back playoff trips. And also, let's see, Miguel Cabrera hit another home run tonight that puts him in sole possession of all categories for a Triple Crown at this present time, with only 2 days left to go in the season. And then, of course, the Cubs fell to 60 and 100 tonight. It was their first 100-loss season since 1966, when they went 59 and 103. So there you go. There's a couple of random baseball facts for you. So, yeah. I guess we can take a quick look at baseball standings before we do the NFL thing. I just want to make one quick announcement, too, while we're getting to places. Tomorrow, I'm going to have a special edition tomorrow night of the JMSports Show. It is going to probably strictly be NFL in the JMSports Show tomorrow night. We are a quarter of the way through the season. I basically have a feel now for all 32 teams, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on all 32 teams through a quarter of the season. I will do that at week 4. I'll do that after week 4, week 8, week 12, and maybe I'll do it again at the end of the year. But this week after week 8, and then after week 12 as well. I will do that. So, and I will also go over college records too in just a second. Brad Keselowski, for you NASCAR fans who care about that, Brad Keselowski won the race in Dover this weekend. Maybe when we get down to 5 races to go, I believe there's 7 races to go still right now. When we get down to 5 races to go, I'll pay more attention to points and to that stuff as well. The White Sox blanked the Indians 11-0 today. So if the Tigers would have lost, that would have gave the White Sox the division, I believe. But the Tigers did get the win, giving them the division. Let's take a look quickly, like I said, at the standings and how they look at this point with just a couple of days left to go in the season. Can't believe I'm saying that. The Yankees have a 1-game lead on Baltimore after they won today. Detroit, like we said, won the division. Oakland has a playoff berth. Still a battle for the division there. Only 1 game separating Texas and Oakland. It is a 2-team race. The Angels are now 4 games back, and are out. Basically, Atlanta is, just playing right now. Washington clinched playoff berth, clinched division. Atlanta, same thing for them. They've clinched playoff berth already in Chippers last year. Really nothing to talk about. And the National, the Central's already wrapped up, and so is the West. So really, all there is to talk about at this point is the wild card. So let's take a look at how that looks right now, and that looks like this at this point. Oakland and Baltimore are points behind. They're actually literally dead even. Even in percentage and in record, 92 and 68 for both teams. Tampa Bay is out of it. So it's basically the A's, the Orioles, and that's pretty much it right there, and the Yankees too. If they need that. St. Louis and Atlanta. I need to look at something really quick. The wild card has actually been clinched by the Braves, so congratulations to them. They clinched the National League, one of the National League wild card spots. The other one is going to be between the Dodgers and St. Louis. St. Louis can clinch that tomorrow with a win with 2 games to go, but so the Dodgers are going to need to play some good baseball these last 2 games. The Cardinals right now, I believe, are, in fact, I'm going to tell you right where they are. The Cardinals, I believe, are playing the Reds in this final series of the season. And the Dodgers are playing the Giants. The Dodgers beat the Giants 3-2 tonight, and St. Louis got a 4-2 win against Cincinnati. So that's going to be something interesting. So it's still interesting as we wind down to the final days here. The final couple of days of the season, the 2nd and the 3rd, and that's it. And we move to playoff baseball, so it's pretty cool. And there you go. So not really much, a whole lot to talk about baseball. We'll hit on that tomorrow as more teams clinch and stuff. The Athletics can, Athletics and Rangers, that division should be probably decided tomorrow, I would imagine. Chances are pretty good. Chances the Cardinals will probably clinch the second wild card. I have nothing against the Dodgers. Cincinnati's a good baseball team too. So Cincinnati could get past. St. Louis, and Dodgers could squeak in. As a fan, I would rather see the Dodgers in because as a fan, I kind of like see the Cardinals in just because they're in the NL Central, then against the Reds. But also as a fan, I also don't want to see the Cardinals make it in because the Brewers are in. But as an analyst, I don't have much interest, much of a favorite in it. I want to see good baseball. So anyway, speaking of good stuff, we had a good week all over the board in college football and in the NFL. Let's take a look at our college picks first. We have 5 picks to make between Thursday and Friday, I believe. So between Thursday and Friday, 5 games to pick going into Saturday. Got some tough games to pick for Saturday that I am looking forward to picking. And as soon as I find the right folder, it's right here, I can tell you what we did. Alrighty, on the 27th, we lost the Stanford pick, 17-13. They were upset. Stanford was upset by Washington. BYU waxed Florida 47-0, giving us a 1-1 record going into Saturday. West Virginia, I'm not going to go through all the scores here, but West Virginia just had 70-63. If you follow me on Twitter, or you did see the pick video, you knew that I said that the West Virginia Baylor game was going to break the scoreboard. I had so much fun watching that, and I am a huge Geno Smith fan. That was the first chance that I really had to look at Geno Smith in a full game situation. Big fan. 41-14 is 40-13 is what we did on Saturday alone. 41-14 is what we did on the week then with the 1-1 prior to Saturday. With that, we moved our records up to 263 wins and 71 losses on the year, 1,394 wins, 486 losses, lifetime. Let's move to the NFL quickly. I'm not going to say a whole lot, I don't think, because I do want to save some stuff for tomorrow's show, where, like I said, I'm just going to do every team in the league and tell you what I think of them so far. We went 10-5 in the spread this week. We went 13-2 in the picks. With the 13-2 in the picks, we have 40-23 on the year, 339 and 202 lifetime, 19-24 against the spread for the year and lifetime for sure picking the spread. Excuse me. Oh man, this cold is miserable. Excuse me for just a second here, guys. There's a cold going around, and one of my friends had it, and apparently thought I needed to have it. But here we go. Let's take a look at stuff from week 4. A little bit. Baltimore and Cleveland, we already kind of talked about that. Atlanta and Carolina. I still think Atlanta's one of the best teams in the league. They made some mistakes, had some penalties called against them. I still think they're a lot better than what the score. They're much better than Carolina. The score didn't show that, but they're much better than Carolina. Another 369 yards receiving or passing for Matt Ryan. Michael Turner at 103 yards rushing. Roddy White at 169 yards receiving. New England and Buffalo, 52-28. New England found another no-name running back that nobody's heard of out of the SEC. I believe his last name is Bowler, and he runs over everybody, so the last name fits him well. 52-28, they beat Buffalo. Don't let that deceive you. I think Buffalo's a little bit stunned. Buffalo was up at one point, 21-7 in this game, and then lose 52-28 behind 4 touchdown passes by Tom Brady and no picks. Ryan Fitzpatrick had 4 touchdown passes, 4 picks. Fitzpatrick was actually the higher passer of the two. He had 350 yards passing. Bolden, is the rusher for the Patriots. He had 102. Minnesota and Detroit, 20-13. So far at this point, we're 3-1. We're 2-3-1 our picks coming up to this game right here. Like I said, we won all of Sunday's day games. So Minnesota winning 20-13. Listen, Detroit, like we said, is taking a big step back. I think they're going to get a little bit better. Minnesota, don't look too much into them. They're a really good team right now. They're 3-1. But be careful. Yeah, they do have a big win against San Francisco, but their schedule gets incredibly brutal second half of the year. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. I don't think the Vikings can keep up what they're doing and can keep up their great record that they have at this point. San Diego beating Kansas City 37-20. What can you say? We got the win there. Kind of figured we would. San Diego is just the much better team. St. Louis and Seattle. I said, and go back and watch. If you don't believe anything I said here, because I did pick St. Louis, go back and watch the video. You don't believe me. I thought Seattle was going to be a little bit too high, and that is basically what happened. I don't know if it's gross, guys. I'm sorry. But they were just a little bit too high, and it came back to bite them. St. Louis played just a little bit better. Sam Bradford, 221 yards passing. Marshawn Lynch did have 118 yards rushing. Every highlight I saw from this game, in fact, I actually watched the game, Lynch was a beast. We made the Niners-Jets are lock of the week, and the Niners dominated. They rolled the Jets. We thought they would, 34 to nothing. The Jets just didn't play well. They're just a mess. What more can you say? This is my prediction. Tebow, for as much as I don't want to say it, Tebow time is coming. And if Tebow time comes, Sanchez's career in New York is done, in my opinion. Houston and Tennessee. Houston is one of the best teams in football. They showed that again. They're physical. Question is, are they going to be able to play good down the stretch when we get to November, December? Is their team built for that, or is their team built for the beginning of the year? 38-14, Houston gets the win. I think their team is built for the whole year. I don't think this team's going to go undefeated. I don't think any team in the NFL is going undefeated this year. But Houston getting a big win. Of course, a bit of a loss for Tennessee. Jake Locker is not expected to play this Sunday as a separated shoulder. Not expected to play this Sunday against the Vikings due to that separated shoulder. So Matt Hasselbeck more than likely will get the start. Cincinnati and Jacksonville, 27-10. Cincinnati gets the win. What more can you say? I kind of thought that one was a no-brainer. Next up, we've got Denver and Arizona in Miami. And here's the deal about this game here. Miami has really impressed me so far. They are so much better than I thought they were going to be. They took Arizona to the wire, taking a 24-21 loss in overtime, did Miami. Arizona's defense seemed to struggle. I did not watch this whole game, but I had the red zone on, so I saw highlights, and every time I looked up and saw it, it looked like Cobb was on his back. Miami just did an incredible job bearing pressure to Kevin Cobb. Cardinals were having a hard time really moving the ball, period, against Miami. They did when it counted. They got the win. But, I think Miami actually played better. In my opinion, I think Miami actually played better football in that game. Denver and Oakland, 37-6. We were waiting for Peyton Manning to have himself a big game. He did 338 yards passing. That's what we were waiting for, and we got it. And I said in the preview video that I thought it would happen. I thought that as Denver kept going, they were going to continue to get better. I think that they have a team that is capable of making it to the NFC Championship game if they can keep it all together. The problem is they're a young team, and playing with Peyton Manning is so difficult because Peyton Manning is constantly changing things. He's constantly calling audibles and everything, and you got to be on your toes with him. Green Bay and New Orleans, Packers really needed a win. I said they would get it easily. They did not get it easily, but they won 28-27. There were some bad calls in that game, and I'm not the only one who said that. I heard that collectively all day today on ESPN and other places too. There was some bad officiating in that game at times. There was a challenge. The Packers lost, but they really shouldn't have. What more can you say? All in all, I think the regular officials did pretty well this week. Washington and Tampa Bay, a very exciting game here. Washington really got out to a big lead. Then Tampa Bay came back. Washington getting a field goal almost as time expired, not quite, but 24-22, Washington getting the win there. Fantastic game. Listen, I'm becoming a huge fan of RG3. I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer. I'm not saying he is, guy for league MVP. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is he's a hell of a player, and if he can stay healthy, which I think he's going to be better than Michael Vick at this point. I think he's going to have an easier time staying healthy than Michael Vick, even though Griffin took some shots yesterday that did make me cringe. I think that's better. Tampa Bay is still a really good physical football team. They are. They're going to win their fair share of games. Philadelphia and the Giants. I said in the preview video, because at this point, I was 13-0 coming into this game. And I said in the preview video, I was nervous because Philadelphia, the Giants always seem to trip up in this game. This is the one game that trips up the Giants completely. So I was nervous. Michael Vick put it together. Michael Vick did not play horribly. I think the two best plays that he had were actually sacks. Instead of, trying to thread the needle with something or make a spectacular play, he just took a sack when he needed to. Sometimes you need to do that sometimes. What more can you say? I was impressed with Michael Vick in that game to an extent. Chicago and Dallas. Oof. Watched that game tonight, and it was horrible. Chicago was really good, and I knew they were going to be. The defense was all over Tony Romo. Romo threw 5 picks. Second time in his career that he's thrown 5 picks. Last time he threw 5 picks was on Monday Night Football as well. 34-18. Chicago gets the win. Matt Forte did play with his bad ankle. 52-yard rushing. 6 receptions, 138 yards, and a touchdown for Brandon Marshall. You knew that Brandon Marshall had to eventually get on the same page with Jay Cutler, and I think tonight, the early half, Brandon Marshall really impressed me. Jay Cutler really impressed me tonight, too, for the most part with his plays. He had one instance where he was a little bit snippy, but here's the deal, guy. I mean, he's competitive. That's all there is to it. He's just a really competitive guy. Romo did throw for 307 yards, even though he had the 5 picks. Here's the deal. Des Bryant, he is just in my mind, in my eyes, he is just completely atrocious to watch. Okay? Watching him is very painful, difficult, not fun. He ran some wrong routes. He dropped a pass that he shouldn't have. He was wide open. I don't know if he just doesn't get it or if he overthinks. Now, there were a couple of times where it wasn't Des Bryant's fault, but there are a lot of plays and mistakes that he makes that make me a little bit nervous as to whether or not he can hang and be an elite NFL wide receiver. Anyway, guys, alright, that is going to do it for me for tonight for the JMSports Show. We're just over 20 minutes. That's about what we usually are, so we will cut it now. And I know that my nose is a little runny, so I'm really sorry if you see any of that. But I had to get this recorded, and for it to not happen, I would basically have to hold the Kleenex up to my nose for the whole thing, and then you wouldn't be able to understand me. So I'll be back tomorrow. I think, hopefully, knock on wood, from what my friend said, this should be the worst of the cold. So hopefully by tomorrow I start to get better, and I will be able to do my quarterly review of the NFL tomorrow, in tomorrow's special edition of the JMSports Show. But that's tomorrow. But until then, I'm going to go to bed. I have some stuff to do tomorrow, plus I have to get ready to do the quarterly show. So I'm going to go to bed now, and enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy your Tuesday, and see you tomorrow. This is the JMSports Show, and I am Jonathan Lozette.